Welcome back everybody to MaxsGarajMahal. In the first video we talked about adding a fuel tank ventilation riser, and we have done that, and we thought we might show you how we did it and what we used, and we might go over a couple other modifications that we've done so far, like the addition of a seat belt. Not a great big deal. Purchased that seatbelt kit from eBay. I think it was like $6 or something like that. Whatever the shipping was, $2.99. Wasn't a whole lot. Pretty good little seatbelt. Got a really good clasp on it. Real positive lock. If you don't have a lot of steep areas, you probably don't need that. Not a big deal. But you might want to add one for less than $10. Pretty good thing. And then of course we put, as I so aptly called it in the first video, seat riser. It's not actually a seat riser, but it does add a couple of inches, a little bit more maybe, to the height of the seat. As you can see, the seat is sitting back a little bit higher than it was. It was sitting directly down on that seat deck mount. But what this is a seat suspension kit, and it allows the seat to float as the mower is bouncing up and down below you. It's supposed to take a lot of the bump out and give you a cushion. And as you can see, it is a adjustable suspension seat kit. It came from Seat Warehouse, and it is the model number FF, and it pretty much is a direct bolt up. There is one thing you need to do, and by the way, shout out to Seat Warehouse. We're going to have some more projects coming up. Hopefully you guys will help us out and provide us with some seat suspension kits as we go forward, and make sure we give you a shout out for each one. And this one was purchased and we got a good deal on it. Thank you for the deal, Seat Warehouse. We're going to go ahead and move the seat forward here and make sure that we have this little bungee cord in place here. We don't want the seat to strike the pedal right over here. As you can see, those pedals could be really damaging to your seat material, so we'll check it. There you go. Plenty of clearance. So what we're going to cover today is the original way this thing was set up. Was the four-way right there that you can see. It has a line going up, one going right and left, and one going down. The original setup was the fuel hose here, right there. Too much light, I guess. Fuel filter and hose. The hose is on the top of the filter, and it came up to that four-way, and then it dropped straight down below the operator, right down there. So what we're doing today is we're moving that fuel filter over there from going down into the frame below the operator, and we're going to make it come up to just about even, or maybe a little bit below, the top of this tank ventilation system or trap right here for the air, to make sure you have plenty of ventilation above the fuel. And when you're on incline, sideways, and back and forth, up and down, that allows you to have ventilation above your fuel when the tank is full, which only, when the tank is full, is only up to right here at the top of that tank, which is not but 3 gallons of fuel. There is right here, there is from this point to this point about half a gallon, I'd say, and over on the other side is approximately a half a gallon, maybe a little bit less. So you might be able to, by doing this little trick here, and we do not recommend you do this. This is not something that's a must, and it may cause damage to your mower or to you, so we do not recommend it. We're just telling you showing you what we have done, what we're going to try to do to give us a little more fuel capacity, a little more run time, and do not do this at home. Now, with that said, we come back over here, and as you see, we took some of these EB 1414 Greenleaf Incorporated barbed 1/4 inch connectors, elbows, 90-degree elbows, and then we added that 90-degree elbow right here where we took the fuel line out and the fuel filter for the ventilation, and we brought it over. As you can see, the 1/4 inch elbow down there, right in there, and then we brought it over, up to another 90-degree elbow, over to another 90-degree elbow, and down, and we spaced this so that we could access an original hole that was already in the frame right here, and we installed the ventilation fuel filter, which all that was for is to keep dirt and some humidity from getting back into the air and the fuel inside your tank. And we located that hose in this original hole that was already in the frame to drop that down and blow the operator again. So what this does is it allows the fuel to come up to here, and since the level of this right here is the same height, it allows you to fill your fuel up if you want to this far. That still gives you this ventilation right here above the fuel, plus any air that's here, right in here, to ventilate the fuel system. Now, when we did it before originally, we just brought the fuel line up to here with the fuel filter sticking up, the dust trap fuel filter sticking up this way, and that worked perfectly. Probably had it on a, I'm sure it was way too much of an incline, but it was on a incline putting the fuel all to this side, and I think we didn't measure it. We just took a 6-gallon fuel can and filled it up till it wouldn't hold anymore. And by doing this ventilation thing, it also allowed us to fill up the air trapped in these upper ventilations till I had it coming up to right about the top of this air trap tank here. So it worked perfectly. I did not like that system because I was concerned you might get some dust and water going down inside that ventilation hose, so I thought it'd be better to have it where you still have the rise, still have the altitude and elevation, but it makes sure that it is ventilating down below the operator. So once you get through the frame, you want to take it with another elbow back over and over to the front and down, so that it is, and we're not going to get it below the mower to show you that, but take it over and make sure it's away from all heat and electrical and such as that. So that's taken care of, and I'm going to show you the materials we used. Again, we used these EB 1414. We picked these up at Tractor Supply Company. Real good little company, handles a lot of your needs, both for farm and home. Fantastic people to deal with. The prices are reasonable. We also used another item here. Let me get over and see if I can get you some light on that. And as you can see, there is a zip tie, which that light's a little too bright. There's the zip tie right here, and we put it in an existing hole, and we wanted that in there so that it would keep this from moving around. Now, we used that zip tie. It came from, get this over here where we can get the name on it. And we used that zip tie came from, get my finger in here, maybe help it. Yeah, we're not doing too well today, guys. I apologize. But let me get you a name here. That came from Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight Tools, home of some great little inexpensive tools. Did a great job. As you can see, this assortment has 1,200 in it. They have various assortments these days. This one's probably 20 years old. Used a lot of them. I've refilled that with a few as I needed, but it really has served me well. Harbor Freight, great company. Hope they'll come help us in some future videos. The fuel hose is an, here you go, guys, Easy Flow. Pick this Easy Flow hose. It's 10 foot at Lowe's Home Improvement. Great company. Lowe's, there's your shout out. It's 10 foot of 1/4 inch inside diameter, 1/2 inch outside diameter. Super upgrade hose. It's got a really good strong neoprene, or I'm sorry, nylon reinforcement. It's really got a good coating inside and out of neoprene. Very strong, very difficult to cut, real high quality. So all you need to do this job is you need that hose, you need some elbows, which you wouldn't have to do. You could leave those out, but it would be a little safer to do that, and these tools. There is a pair of 10-inch channel locks. I don't even remember if I used those, to be honest with you. I think I did. There is a utility box cutter here, utility knife, a pair of channel locks or needle nose, and there is a pair of lineman's pliers. That's all you really need to do this little job. In the first video we showed you that we did a amp meter installation, and it's a pretty neat little installation. It's got USB charge ports. It's got we used the existing knockout here in the panel. All you do is remove this bolt and make sure you don't lose that. You're going to need that again. Then you're going to cut out this rubber on top here, push this through, make sure it's locked in place. And then the way I did this was I took the power to the time or the hour meter here, and I accessed the hot side of it. When the key is on, it puts power to this amp meter, and then I put the ground also to this hour meter, so that's grounded very, very well. I soldered all the connections, and then put about 3 coats of shrink wrap on it to heat shrink to make sure that it's good and sealed. And then just reassemble this, stick this back in, put the bolt back in, you're completed. Real easy to do. Something we did on the seat when we installed the seat riser / seat warehouse suspension kit is you have to add a wiring harness extension for your seat shutoff switch, safety switch. So once that was installed, I wanted to make sure that this was safe from abrasion on these connections. So we took a piece of fuel hose and we sliced it down the center on the outside of the curve, installed it here so that this doesn't rub any raw edges. And by the way, the reason why this cardboard's here, and after I put the tools on there, it screwed up the form. I'm working on building some new fenders, inner fenders, to come out to the very edge of the tires. And right now it's all askew. And what that'll do is it'll keep any of the clippings and water, anything else maybe on your tires, from coming around the outside of your tire and getting thrown up onto your deck, which of course is going to make your deck rust. The clipping is going to get in here inside your belt covers if it has these enclosed belt covers like these Hustler Raptors and the SDs in particular have. So as you can see, I ventilated the covers about a year ago. Great little modification. You will want to do that. You don't have to, and I'm not telling you to do that, but you really will enjoy that, because all you got to do is take a little leaf blower, blow that thing out, and you're in good shape. That's all we have for you today. Again, we want to recommend that you can find you some of these zip ties if you're looking for a place at Harbor Freight Tools, the fuel hose from Lowe's Home Improvement, and the 1/4 inch barb elbows you can pick up at Tractor Supply. So thank you for stopping by Maxs's Garage Mahal. We'll see you on the next one.